Colin here again. I'm just going to talk to you now about a few things I didn't mention the other day. First thing is, you've probably been wondering, or you might have been wondering, what am I supposed to do with the containers, the pots and so on, after I've planted the seeds in them, but before they start to germinate. Well, my advice is to keep them somewhere warm and with plenty of light. So maybe indoors, if you can, is ideal really. If you've got a kitchen windowsill or another window which gets a lot of sun, and if there is no sill, then you could maybe put a table underneath it that you can put the pots on, so they're going to get plenty of light, but be nice and warm at night. Nighttime, particularly this time of year, is quite cold, and it'll help things grow if they're warmer and getting plenty of sun, and also not getting dried out by the wind. Okay, next thing is marking the pots. It's important, once you've sowed the seeds, that you can remember which ones are in which pot, which containers. And it's not always easy, because once you've planted them you can't see them anymore. So I'll show you an example. This is something I planted a couple of weeks ago. This was back before lockdown and everything, when I was still able to get to the community garden. And these are lettuce seedlings. You might be able to see the label I've put here. I've written lettuce. I've written the variety, which is Merveille de Quatre Saisons, marvel of the four seasons. And I planted these on the 10th of March 2020. So that is 17 days ago, I think. So I'll have to thin these out when they get a bit bigger. But for the time being, this is fine. You might be able to see these are all leaning one way. That's because the place where I'm keeping them has the sunlight coming from mainly one side. So I'm rotating these every day or so, just so that they don't all get completely bent over one direction. Anyway, but the main thing about this was to show how I've marked it. So I'm going to mark some of the other things that I've already done. Now, so I've got the two pots that I planted sunflower seeds in the day before yesterday on the first video. So I'm just going to write on these lolly sticks what they are when I sowed them. So I'm going to write on sunflower, what was the date? 25th of March 2020. I'm just going to stick it in the pot there. Those two done. Right. Another thing I was going to talk about was about what are the things I've sown in the last few days that I haven't told you on the video. So a couple of days ago I planted some carrots. I have 3 pots here. The middle pot is a very big pot. It looks like it's pottery, but it's actually just plastic, so it's not quite as heavy as it looks. But so as I said before, I've put some stones and things at the bottom, then I filled it up with soil and compost, and I've just sown the carrots in the top. With carrots, it's important to make sure the soil is as fine as you can, no stones in it or anything like that. They like sandy soil as well. Some people do grow them just in sand, but I've got these in a very fine compost, and I sieved it actually first in a like a garden sieve, not a kitchen sieve. So I've labelled this one just by putting in the flower packet, the seed packet rather. The problem with that is that will get damp, so I'll probably replace that with something. The other two, I've just put a cane in, just to remind myself that there's something in there, and because they're all 3 are together, I should remember that. But I probably should actually write something on that, and the date. Okay, and finally, I thought I should talk about what are the kinds of containers you could use. Now, I mentioned egg boxes, I mentioned a biscuit box. There's lots of other things you can use. You just have to use your imagination. So I've got here some old plastic pots that had cream cheese in. I used that we used those last year, and these are some yogurt pots. Also, we used last year for growing seeds in first before the plants got bigger. These are a bit stuck together. Yeah, but you can still. I can reuse these this year if I want to. Another example is a Tetra Pak box. This is an orange juice container. I've just cut the top off, and that'll make a nice little pot for something. Don't know what yet. And also the trays, the plastic trays that you get mushrooms and things in supermarkets, they can be quite good as well, especially those ones have got holes at the bottom as well already. Some of these containers you might need to make holes in if they haven't got holes already at the bottom. Okay, well I think that's enough for now, and I'll be back with more soon.